Human advancement knows no boundary. But this has not been without its price. Though we stand at the height of prosperity, we need only look to the past to remember that nature is a power that cannot be ignored. Consuming even the mightiest empires. And causing the greatest among us to tremble in her fury. Yet from adversity, the human spirit endures. Finding ways to coexist with the earth. Or bend it to our cause. Pursuing a course beyond distant horizons. And revealing paths. Both towards innovation and unintended catastrophe. Our survival necessitates new solutions to old problems. To ensure a future, both for ourselves and generations to come. United in purpose, we must now look beyond borders and welcome the dawn of the next era in human civilization.
Well, that was pretty cool. What's up guys, it's Alfie here, and today I'm going to be playing Civ 6 for the second time today, because earlier I tried to record this and for some reason I've just got terrible frames per second and terrible video quality. I've never wanted to just dash my keyboard against my screen and then use the broken shards to just gouge my eyes out in anger before, because it's just so annoying. Literally an hour and 3/4 worth of footage that I'm now going to be going off the back of, and you're going to have no bloody clue what I'm talking about most of this, which is really annoying, but hey ho, what can you do? This is mainly going to be either a tutorial series or probably not even a series, maybe just a let's play, whatever. This is fundamentally going to be one of the first videos that I'm going to be putting out. I'm going to try not to let Sean Bean talk over me. A little bit annoying, Sean, please, can you maybe not do that? We left off here. I'm going to have to treat this like a brand new video. It's going to be pretty weird. We dropped off London here. Plymouth was our second city up here, and Bristol was our third. And we're looking to settle down here somewhere. We had a bit of problems, a bit of a tough time with London, because originally we had a barbarian base somewhere down here that was just continuously spamming us. So we didn't really get the chance to scout as much as I would have liked to. We're now going into it turn 66. So yeah, really not too far along. The only Civ we've met so far is John Curtin of Australia, who's down here in Canberra and Newcastle. We are aiming to get these 3 military city-states to be loyal to us, for us to be their suzerain, because their bonuses are particularly cool. Like Akkad, this is the 3rd one out of the 3 that we're not suzerain of yet. But we get a bonus to melee and anti-cavalry. That means that they're able to attack straight through. They're able to do full damage to city walls, regardless of the wall damage, regardless of wall level even, or any other bonuses that might boost the defending party. We got Cabal, who we're scissoring of at the moment. We get double experience from attacking combat instances, and then we have Granada, which means that we can make Alcazar improvements like this one, which we've only just really got. So we're really not that far in. It's just a bit of pain that I'm gonna have to go through some of my strategies and things. I wouldn't say I'm a pro at Civ. I've played it a lot. I played it since Civ 3. I can't remember what the name was, but I just remember thinking it was called Civ 3, if it's got a specific name. So I played it for quite a while. This one's a bit new to me because when this one came out, I bought it and I didn't actually play it for a while. I stuck to my guns with Civ 5 because I really enjoyed that one. But I thought, yeah, in light of the new DLC being released, I might as well make a video on this, and hope you guys like it. So in this, I'll be playing it, dropping a few little strategies and a few little ways to play the game. So one thing we're looking to do right now is just sort of scout outwards because we haven't met another Civ.
I don't see it.
Look closelier. Look more closelier.
I don't believe it.
We just did, as I said that, that's weird. And it's Poundmaker, who is actually really cool. He's a really good person to be allied with because he has particular bonuses to, if I can figure out how to see them. I'll just get him on the Civipedia. We'll be right back.
Bruh.
So Poundmaker, or Pitikwana Pilhinin, the easier way to say it, of course, that is. He gets bonuses to like food and things like that. Is quite cool because he pretty much is a solid ally, is like his fundamental thing. He's not one to betray, which is quite useful because a lot of civs in this game, I'm not sure whether it's something with the coding. I mean, it's quite cool either way. They will try and betray you if you're particularly at a weak point, unless they're a particularly friendly civ. So it's good that we just made him. We're also using our galleys as well at the moment to scout around, and we're looking, after we've completed the Temple of Artemis just here, which will give boosts to our camps and plantations, which will be there. I'm probably not going to reach these two, I don't think. I think its toll reaches 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's just missing these two. This one just by 1, this one by 2, missing it. But we're still going to get bonuses to this, and this, which is realistically that's still quite good. We kind of want to start focusing down the naval sides of things, but before I do that, I do want to wait for Plymouth to expand. I might even just see how much tiles are, if I can get one for under 40 maybe. No, gone past that. But yeah, we kind of want to focus on getting some of these naval resources so that we can get the inspiration, or sorry, not the inspiration, the Eureka moment to get these techs. So I'm going to treat this like you guys playing this have played Civ 5 maybe, or you just haven't played Civ and you kind of want to get a grasp of how it works. The basic things really, like many other games, this Civ being kind of like the predecessor to turn-based strategy games, really kind of changed the way turn-based strategy games work, is excuse me, Mr. Powermaker, is getting techs that will give you bonuses to your units, to your city, and things that you can use to improve your city, like districts or in-city constructions, like, for example, the wheel. The wheel tech will give us the water mill, which is a building we can build in our city that will give us more food. The more food you have, the quicker your population count comes in, which is this little bit here. And the more population count you have, the more tiles that you've improved around your city that you can have working at once. So, for example, we built a mine here, we've got a camp, another mine, another quarry, I think? Yeah, quarry, and then a farm, some fishing stuff. So at the moment we have 5 population, which means that 5 of these tiles inside our London's border can be like used or utilised at one point. So you can actually see it. This is what I quite like about Civ 6, is the attention to detail. So you can actually see which tiles are being worked or not. Like, for example, the quarry's got cranes on it in process, so that will be one tile that's being worked. The rice fields, you can see the rice growing, so that's probably another one. Those two. You can see the the donkey working in the copper quarry here, copper mine, sorry. So that's probably another one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and then 2 more. Would be this one, the Fishery, which is unlocked through the government system, which I can go into in a minute. Or I'll just wait until we get a governor point, and then I'll go into that. So you can see that's being worked. And then here, the camp, you can see the fires lit and things again. So I'm assuming, if that's right, click Manage Citizens, we should see... Yeah, so we've got a pop here, working on that, pop there, and a pop there, and a pop there. So you can see that all of these tiles are being worked. And obviously when we get another pop in 6 turns, obviously the more food you get, the quicker that your population count will increase. Depending on what one of my focuses that I've selected here, so you can focus on culture, which speeds up your civics, and civics unlock buildings and government cards that will give you particular boosts in your government. Food, which we just said, increases the speed at which your cities pop up. I say pop up, I mean that as in pop hyphen up, population up. Production increases the speed that you produce things, like buildings, units, districts, a bit like this one, which is an encampment that you can build in a hex. That will give us defensive bonuses. Science, which you need to get more science and techs. Faith, which I'll go into maybe in a separate video if that comes useful. You can have a faith. I haven't got one just because I turned it off for this, just because I wanted to focus on sort of more of the raw elements, because faith wasn't originally a big thing in Civ until Civ 5 and Civ 6. Civ 5 it being its first sort of main introduction, Civ 6 being built upon. Not quite finished yet, I would say, the faith system, but it's still quite fun. And then gold, which you can use to fast pass the production of units, and instead just use gold to straight up buy them from your cities, which is quite cool, which I can do just by clicking that and clicking purchase item. We haven't got enough at the moment, and the more units you buy with gold, the higher the price gets, which is why, for example, my builder is 295 coins. I've bought at least, I think, 3, maybe 4, I'm not sure, with gold. One little thing here you might notice as well, the city population here is stagnant because it hasn't got enough it hasn't got enough food to increase its pop at the moment. Cities can starve and slowly decrease in population, but that's only in situations where you might, for example, settle in a desert. You're really struggling to put down farms if you're a civ that doesn't have desert bonuses. What I can do in this situation is maybe click on +4 food, yeah? So I can select the city's focus to be working on food, which means that they'll, in 2 turns, have another pop, which is pretty a good selection at the moment. And when they get that pop, I'll turn that off, and maybe that extra pop they'll put into using this one. But for now, if I manually select for the city to focus on food, that means they'll focus on getting their pop up. So I'm actually going to leave that for now. It's a good thing I went over that, because that's actually helped me a little bit. Plymouth at the moment, we're producing a water mill, which will give us as you can see in the city centre, the water mill was under here, I selected it, and now it's being produced. So the more production you have, the less turns it takes for a unit, or a building, or a wonder, or a district, really anything. The more production you have, the less turns it will take to build. Unless they're projects, but honestly, who really cares about projects these days? Right, let's get this going. And you've just explored around here. Now we haven't met a dead end around here, so this... because we haven't unlocked the tech yet, which means that we'll learn how to go into ocean tiles like these, which are a slightly darker colour than coastal tiles. And Nan Madao, its borders expand over the coastal tiles that I would need to pass through, which I can't at the moment. To be able to pass through city-states borders, you have to be the suzerain, which means that you've sent envoys to them, and they kind of it makes them more friendly to you. It's like sending I don't know, like a diplomatic gift to them to make them a bit more interested in you. What I'm going to do, which is a bit cheeky here, is I think this is a Australian settler. Settlers you produce just like a normal unit, but they take a pop out of your city, which is fine really if you've got a good food supply, because you know you'll just get it back in a couple of turns. But I think this is an Australian settler that's been captured by barbarians. So barbarians are not like city-states. They'll just have a one-tile encampment, looks a little bit like this, but a bit more tribal. And they'll sit in it, and then they'll perpetually spawn units that will come out and attack civs and city-states. And in this case, what they've done is they've attacked Australia, and likely in the catch-up have managed to steal one of their settlers. And now the offensive unit that stole the settler has obviously gone off and fought, or maybe it's been killed, and this settler's now free. So if I steal it, I might get the settler. I'm not sure if it's like Civ 5. In Civ 5, if you caught a settler, it would turn into a builder unit like this, which you can use to, like I'll do here, improve tiles, which will give you bonuses to the tiles.
Yosemite Valley to me is always a sunrise.
Sure be. Cool. Now what we could build is Stonehenge here and get a free profit. Getting a free profit would mean that we can start the process of getting our own religion. We could do that. Again, this isn't really a focus thing, but it's tempting to do that because we'll get 2 faith. Faith can eventually be used to buy units, and we'll also be able to get a Pantheon belief. We found a Pantheon with the profit, which will get rid of the profit, and that choosing a Pantheon, there's a limited choice in Pantheons because if another Civ has already picked it, you can't pick the same one. There's like a pool of them that you can choose, and there's only 7 religions that can be created in a game at once. If 7 have already been made and you haven't made a religion, you will not be able to make another religion. They'll all be used up, all the slots. But founding a Pantheon will mean that I can select a Pantheon belief which will give my civilization specifically, regardless of any other religions that come in and convert my cities to their religion, which realistically isn't that bad a thing, because we're focusing on other things. Regardless of another religion coming in and converting our cities, we'll still have that Pantheon belief which is specific to us, which is quite useful. So I might do that. On the other hand though, on the flip side, having another builder is something that I really want to focus on right now, because Bristol here, I don't want to have Bristol focusing purely on food just to get this Civ up. So I'm going to get a builder going, probably bring them down here, build some farms maybe. Yeah, let's just get that going. Now Bristol here, you got 1 pot. Let's get a watermill because that'll give us, as you can see there, food and production. Which is quite useful because we need realistic both of those. It's quite a small city, so. And we just met another Civ. And it's Catherine of France. Right. Famously, Catherine of France is a bit of an annoying Civ to come up against because she seems to be more aggressive for some reason. I don't know why, but just in general, she seems to try to attack you. So what we've done here at the top, throughout the game, you'll accrue influence points, which you can see there, 1 envoy and 100 influence points. So we've just hit 100 influence points because we get 5 per turn, so it's taken us 20 turns to get here. So at the moment, every 20 turns I'll get an envoy, which you can use to spend on city-states, and if you're a suzerain of a city-state, you get a specific bonus. Even just putting in points into city-states, if you're not the suzerain of, you'll get a bonus, like here, 1 envoy for Nanwadao would get +2 culture in the capital, which isn't something we really are going to go nuts about, but at the same time, it's just a little bit useful. Now, I didn't put actually an envoy into this. I must have accidentally done a quest for them, or is it down here, maybe? Or down here? Oh no, it's because we were the first civilization to discover them, we get an envoy there automatically. Now the 3 we want are all military, you can tell by their red colour. They'll give us production when producing units, yeah. Industrial one will give you production just in general, for other things than units, sorry I should have said. And each, being a suzerain of a city-state, gives you the unique bonus depending on which city-state it is, which I already went over with the combat ones, like we get more XP from aggressive battles and things like that, and obviously there'll be benefits in relation to what type of city-state it is. Like we've got culture, which should give us culture, military production towards military units, and just industrial, which gives us production to pretty much everything else. Now I am going to sneak this one, and it does count actually as our settler, which is a little bit sneaky but really useful at the same time. I'm kind of inclined to maybe bring it up here because that's a good shout. We've got some iron, some food, and some stone. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to do that actually. Let's take it up there. Actually, what you can do here is you can create an escort, which means that The military unit, which I have, that's a scout, which is a very weak military unit, but it can move quite quickly, can link onto the settler, and then they'll be able to move together. What this prevents is that if the settler is just on its own and it comes against an enemy unit like a barbarian or a civ we're at war with, which we're not at war with any at the moment, but just in case, if it came across a barbarian or a civ we're at war with, it means that they can't instantly just take it. If it was just on its own, that means that the civ or the enemy that is attacking us can just literally just walk onto the same tile as it, and then it's claimed as theirs, which is what I did with it just then. Cool. So now what we've just done here, as we've done for the whole game, is for specific things. These happen quite often, but for specific little things, you'll get era score. Like, for example, I found a world wonder, which is Halong Bay. We created our first naval unit. Oh, sorry, no, we were first in the world to create a naval unit, which gives us 3 era score. We destroyed, for example, a barbarian encampment, which gives us era score. You can find little villages of just random people that you can walk onto, and then they'll give you little bonuses and things, which is quite cool. And being suzerain of city-states gives you era score. And every time the era increases, at the end of the era, your era score will be checked, and if you don't have enough era score to make it into a normal age, you'll be in a dark age for the next era, which will give you negative debuffs that will appear here, and you can see them. At the end of an era also, you can choose from 4 dedications, which will give you bonuses to era score for doing specific things. For example, here, every time we trigger a Eureka, which is one of these underneath the Civ, which give you little boosts to the speed at which you can research technologies. Every time you trigger one of those, I'll get additional era score. If you are in a dark age, and then at the end of that dark age, at the end of that era, you manage to get a golden age, you'll enter a heroic age, which will give you massive bonuses, but you can only get those if you're in a dark age in the first place. If you get enough from normal age, you don't get any benefits, you just get to choose from a dedication. Most civs will end up doing this, that's perfectly fine. And if you do particularly well, you'll be in a golden age, which means that you'll get significant bonuses to your civ. Okay, now normally I would wait to get the Eureka for this, but unfortunately it looks like Plymouth isn't going to get there. Bearing in mind it takes quite a few turns to get a tile expanded. The more culture you have in a city, the faster it will claim tiles. So like out here, I can actually see here, it says 20 turns until it expands to there. So we'll be waiting 20 turns for that one to get done, then we'd have to wait further for one of these to be done, and then we'd have to wait further for an additional tile for one of these resources to be claimed, and then as well as that we'd have to have a builder go there and build on them. So normally I'd wait for that, but because we can't do that right now, I'm just going to research it without getting the Eureka. At the moment we're trying to play a bit safe, be a bit friendly. We've got quite a strong military at the moment.
When I saw the house of Artemis that mounted to the clouds,
sorry,
those are the marvels
you also
lost
get these
their
really cool
brilliancy.
animations of
And I said,
the wonders slowly
lo,
being built.
apart from Olympus, the sun never looked on aught so grand.
Yeah, we have a relatively strong military in comparison to other civs, sort of because our hand was forced to build one. That's why we have the defensive encampment here, because we had quite a few barbarian camps just around us that were just constantly attacking us from every direction, which was kind of sucky, but there's not much we could do. We just had to start building up just in case we were getting bombarded, and luckily we managed to get out of it without them even pillaging a single square. Right, what we have built here as well are a couple of districts. Now districts are tiles that can be built on, well, virtually any tile unless you've got a wonder or already have a district on it. If you do build, for example, if I tried to build on, oops, I didn't want to do that, that's fine there, I can just change it. If I did want to build on a tile, I don't want to build Stonehenge, what am I doing? It would replace any of the benefits that I would get from a tile. So for example, if I wanted to build a district on this source of iron, I would not get that source of iron anymore, it would be permanently removed from the game. Same for woodlands. If you remove woodlands though, you can get a tech or a civic in the future that lets your builders plant woodlands, which is quite useful. Especially if you're in a place like Bristol here, where we haven't got much production apart from this pasture. We can build woodlands, and then we can tell our builders to build lumber mills on those woodlands, which give us production. But again, lumber mills aren't accessible until you get the tech later in the game. Now building this extra galley will give us the eureka moment for this shipbuilding. Now you see the smaller bar, hollowed out blue bar, is the amount of tech points that would be bypassed by getting the eureka moment. So because this is about a third, if we when this second galley, we already have one. When this second galley is produced, it will activate this eureka moment, and it will skip around a third, I think that is, of the tech that's needed to get that done. So that will probably go from 13 turns probably to about 6 or 7 maybe, which is realistically really good. That's like virtually half, right? So we just finished a civic, which gives us, in this particular case, you can unlock buildings and districts as well. But in this particular case, we get a bonus, which is what this little star icon means. So we'll get flanking and support bonuses in combat to all combat units. Now flanking is when you have a unit either side of a unit that you're attacking, you'll get a bonus. And support is when one unit is next to another, you'll also get a bonus. Not quite as large as flanking, but you'll still get a bonus. And then these two are these two are government cards that we can use in our government, which we have unlocked. So what we have here are slots that we can use. You can unlock more governments through the civic tree. As you go, you can unlock more governments. I can change if I want, but yeah, I can change if I want. But you do normally get a debuff. I think it's because it's an early game government type. You won't get a debuff, but having a particular government will give you different types of slots that you can use in accordance to the different types of cards that you have. And they'll also give you particular bonuses. For example, the government that I currently have gives me plus 15 great person points. Great people are people here that you can use to give your civ bonuses towards your gameplay, or if they're creatives like writers, artists, or magicians, they will create great works which produce tourism, and they'll reduce loyalty as well, which is something tourism and loyalty I'll go into later. But they'll give you culture bonuses as well in the cities that they're stored in. So as you store them, you'll get culture, and culture is used to expand your borders, as we've been over. Profits you can use to do religions, but again, we're not really worrying about that. Science, obviously, you take them to a place like a campus, or I think actually no, it's just campuses now you can use them in. You can use them and they'll activate their bonus. So for this one, it'll mean that this will give us a permanent bonus that all of the libraries that we build will provide +1 science, and it will instantly build a library in that particular district. Great merchants will normally give you bonuses to, obviously, gold, money. This increases the trade route capacity, which we currently have as 1 because we're quite early in the game, and it will give us +2 gold to cities that we trade to, and if other civs trade to that particular city that we use the great merchant in, they'll get +2 gold as well. So that's quite good, because the more trade that you have going into your city, you get bonuses from people trading with you as well, whether you choose it or not. Great engineers will give you buffs to wonders, so like buffs to the production of wonders, or they'll add production to it, or they'll give you bonuses for example, in this one, you can build 1 more district than the pop limit. Now, the higher your population is, the more districts you can build, and again, districts, there's many different types. Government plazas, which give us, you can only build 1 per civ when you unlock it, but they give us bonuses to our government type and give us special government cards that we can use. Encampments is the military one. It gives us bonuses to unit production, and it's a defensive building, so if someone attacks here, we can use ranged attacks against them. If they come in here attack, the warrior has a massive bonus because it's in a fortified location, which is the encampment. You can also build a campus here. Campuses give you science. You can build cultural locations, which give you culture and let you store creative works in there, great works. There's other bits and bobs as well that I'll go into when I make them, and if I don't, I'll let you know why I'm not, and what they do as well at the same time. Great admirals, obviously, the passive effect of great admirals and generals means that if there's troops within a particular amount of tiles, for example, this one you can see here, if it's within 2 tiles, naval units within 2 tiles of this great admiral, because it's a physical unit, they will get the bonus that is stated here, so 5 combat strength and an additional movement. Or you can use it straight away, which will get rid of him forever, but you'll get the permanent bonus that you'll gain the unit that it's used on. In this case, they all have different bonuses, but the unit that this Great Admiral's used on, when it's like on the same tile as it, it'll gain a promotion level, which is really useful if you're late in the game, because some units that already have loads and loads of promotion levels take loads of XP to level up, so that will give it an instant level up, which is quite useful. And levels with particular units, again, I'll go into when it happens, but they gain bonuses obviously as it goes. Great Generals as well, he's got the exact same bonus as the Admiral, but obviously it just happens with land units, and the exact same bonus as well with the like the sort of cash-in bonus that you can use, which means that when you use him on a unit, it will get another promotion level. Now you get great people points by building the appropriate districts or buildings. Now no one yet has actually, because we're still really early on, I was only about 45 minutes an hour and 45 minutes in, sorry, to the game when my recording I realised was really badly bugged. No one's actually done it yet. No one's actually got a great person yet, because we're still relatively early on. It's still 1160 BC, so no one's really got anything yet. Right, I'm going to end that there and check that the audio is working, and hopefully I won't have to do this again. So thanks for watching. Remember to like. It really helps the algorithm. You know how YouTube works these days. Knowing it probably just won't display my video even when I post it for some reason. So again, literally just one like really helps. And yeah, don't have to sub if you don't want to. Just would appreciate it if you could. So thanks for watching. See you.